Today, we're making this adorable little cartoon bat. Cute, spooky, and just a bit silly. It's the perfect project for Halloween. Let's jump into Blender and bring this flying troublemaker to life.
All right, let's start from scratch. Hit 1 on the numpad to jump to front view. Select the camera and the light, and delete them. Yeah, we don't need that drama yet. Now grab the default cube, our soon-to-be adorable little bat. Press the period key to focus right on it. Then hit Ctrl+2 to give it 2 levels of subdivision. That just means more polygons, more cuteness potential. Head over to the Modifier tab, hover over the Subdivision modifier, and press Ctrl+A to apply it. Nice. Now we're ready to sculpt this cube into something less cubey. Press Tab to enter Edit mode, then 2 to switch to Edge Select mode. Alt+click on the middle edge to select that entire loop. Activate Proportional Editing by pressing O. Think of it as Gentle Sculpt mode. Now move it down with G+Z and scale it up with S just a bit. Boom! Already looking slightly less boxy and slightly more like something that could one day squeak adorably in the night.
Now that our little cube creature has some shape, let's make it symmetrical, because, we're not monsters. Press N to open the side panel, go to the Edit tab, and look for the Auto Mirror option. If you don't see it, surprise, you need to activate it first. Once it's on, hit that Auto Mirror button with the default settings. Boom! Blender does the cloning work for you. You'll see a mirror modifier pop up in the modifier stack. That's your cue that it worked. Now, hop back into edit mode. It's time to give our bat some personality. For the eyes, select these 4 faces, press S to scale them up just a little, then press I to inset the faces and hit X through faces to delete them. Next, Alt+click to loop select the eye edge, right-click, and from Loop Tools, choose Circle. If you don't see Loop Tools when you right-click, same deal, go activate it in the add-ons, just like Auto Mirror. Now, flatten the shape slightly with S+X to scale it on the X-axis. Looking good! Creepy cute already! Let's move on to the mouth. Select the 4 faces where the mouth should go, press I to inset, and then B to remove the boundary. Turn on X-ray mode with Alt+Z, select the bottom center vertices, and, with proportional editing on, move them down using G+Z until you've got a nice smooth curve. We're giving our bat a goofy grin, not a dentist's nightmare. Now select the inset faces again, press X through faces to delete them. Loop select the mouth edge, scale it down slightly with S, then S+X to squish it just a bit horizontally. Perfect! We now have the basic shape of our cute little night creature.
Now that we've got a nice base, let's keep the momentum going. From the Modifier tab, add a Solidify modifier, because our bat deserves some thickness in its life. Set the thickness to 0.1, just enough to give it a little body. Then hit Ctrl+2 again to add a Subdivision Surface modifier, this time not for detail, but for smoothness. Right-click and choose Shade Smooth. Smooth as butter, or maybe smooth as a bat's belly. All right, time to jump into Edit mode and turn on X-ray mode. We're about to fix that mouth shape. Select all the mouth vertices, turn on Proportional Editing, and press G to move them around until the mouth looks a bit more natural, or at least less like it just saw a ghost. Next up, Ctrl+R to add a loop cut around the mouth. Then Alt+click to loop select the faces around it, and press Alt+S to scale them inward along the normals. This gives our little bat a cleaner, rounder mouth shape, kind of like it's ready to say, boo. Now, let's give the eyes some love. Add another loop cut around the eye holes, loop select those faces, and again, Alt+S to scale them outward along the normals. There we go. Smooth, defined, and ready for some adorable eyes later.
All right, time to give our little bat some ears, because without them, it's just a flying potato. Press Shift-A to add a cube, then G to move it into position, and S to scale it down. Tiny but mighty. Hit 7 for top view, then S+Y to scale it down along the Y-axis, flatten it out a bit. Back to front view, press Ctrl+A to apply rotation and scale, so Blender doesn't have an existential crisis later.
Now into Edit mode, select the bottom face, press X Faces to delete it. We're going to add structure. Ctrl+R twice for 2 loop cuts, one along the Z-axis, one along the X-axis. Select that new geometry, S+X to scale it out, then G+Z to move it down. Now grab the top vertices, enable X-ray mode, and G+Z to move them upward. Stretch those ears nice and tall. Add a side loop cut, then S+X to scale it out for a wider base. Select the 3 top vertices and G+Z again to raise them. You're basically sculpting a cute little bat ear now. From top view, select the middle vertices, G+Y to move them backward to give that natural curve. We love a bit of attitude in our bat's ears. Back to front view, select the bottom loop, S to scale it up slightly, add another loop cut below it, Ctrl+R, and again, S to scale it up a bit more. Now A to select everything, G+Z to move it upward, G+Y to move it forward. This sets the origin right under the ear, nice and clean. Time for some inner detail. Select the front faces, press I to inset, then E to extrude inward just a bit, and S to scale them down. Looks good? Perfect. Next, hit Ctrl+2 to add a subdivision surface modifier, smooth and soft like a plush toy. Now S+X to flatten the shape just a touch, G to move it into position on the head, and R to rotate it slightly. In Edit mode, select the bottom edge loop, G+Z+Z to gently press the base into the head. Make it feel connected. If it needs tweaking, S+X+X or S+Z+Z to adjust width or height. Once you're happy, apply rotation and scale, add a mirror modifier, and set the character as the mirror object. And there we go.
All right, time to give our little bat some wings, because right now, it's just a confused hamster. Press Shift-A and add a plane. Rotate it with R+X+90, then S+Z to flatten it a bit, and G to move it into position. Apply rotation and scale, you know the drill. Clean transforms are happy transforms. Head into Edit mode, add 2 loop cuts along the Z-axis and 1 loop cut along the X-axis. We're basically giving our wing some bones. Now grab the left side vertices, S to scale them down, G to move, R to rotate, just gently shaping that base. Select the right side vertices, S to scale them up, then grab the middle vertex, G to move it to the right, and boom, that's our first little wing curve. Keep massaging those points, move, rotate, adjust, until you get that nice flowing shape. From the Modifier tab, add a Solidify modifier, set offset to 0, and increase thickness to 0.1. Looks good? Apply it. Back to Edit mode. Select the 2 faces on the right side, I to inset them, then select 4 faces on the left and inset those too. From X-ray mode, select the edge faces and the middle ones, then Alt+E extrude along normals. Puff them out just a bit. Now hit Ctrl+1 for a subdivision level 1, apply it, then Ctrl+2 for 2 levels of subdivision surface. Buttery smooth. Loop select the edge near the left, activate proportional editing, and G to move it, R to rotate. Find that sweet organic curve. Select the edge loop at the middle, press 3 for side view, and G+Y to push it slightly. Smooth silhouette achieved. Now from front view, go X-ray mode, select the middle edges, hit 7 for top view, and G+Y again to nudge them backward. We're getting that nice aerodynamic bat wing curve. Finally, A to select everything, put the origin at the left side. This will make mirroring cleaner later. S to scale it down, G to move it into position, R to rotate just a bit, and right-click Shade Smooth for that final polish. Then add a mirror modifier, choose the body as the mirror object, and there we go. One adorable pair of wings ready to flap.
Okay, time to give our character a tongue, because, well, even monsters need to taste their food, right? Add a cube, then S+Z to squish it down a bit, and S+X to make it thinner. Apply rotation and scale, hit slash for isolation mode, and jump to top view. In Edit mode, add 4 loop cuts along the X-axis, and 1 along the Y. Now from top view in X-ray mode, start shaping that classic tongue curve. Scale and move the vertices until it looks nice and smooth. Next, delete the faces at the start of the tongue. We don't need those. Add a loop cut along the sides, scale them up slightly. Now for that signature tongue hill. Select the middle edge loop, Ctrl+B to bevel it with 3 segments. Add another loop cut near the right and 1 near the left. Switch to Vertex Select mode, grab these vertices and, with proportional editing on, G+Z to move them upward. Then move the middle ones slightly downward to create that subtle wave. Go to Side View X-ray mode. Grab the right edge loop, scale it up, then move it upward. Select the vertices on the left, rotate and move them a bit into place, you'll get that perfect flick at the end. Now select everything, position it so the origin's right at the start of the tongue, Ctrl+2 for subdivision, S+X to slim it down, apply rotation and scale, and shade smooth. Finally, exit isolation mode, move that tongue into the mouth, adjust it until it sits nicely. Boom! Now your character can finally say blah with style. Alright, time for some teeth. Add a cube, hop into edit mode, select the top face and delete it. Ctrl+2 for subdivision, nice and smooth. Now grab the bottom vertices, scale them down a bit to shape that toothy tip. Add a loop cut in the middle with Ctrl+R, and from side view, move it slightly forward, just a little dental adjustment. Right-click, shade smooth, oh yeah, that's a shiny tooth. Just like we did with the tongue, move it into position inside the mouth. And of course, the classic move, our old magician's trick, add a mirror modifier and set the character as the mirror object. Double the teeth, double the bite. Now, before we jump into the eyes, let's tweak those wings a bit to make them more bat-like. In edit mode, go into X-ray view, grab these vertices and, with proportional editing on, lift them up for that perfect curve. Do the same for the bottom edges so your monster can soar through the night like a cute, slightly cursed bat.
Alright, time to give it some eyes so it can finally judge our modeling skills. Shift+A to add a UV sphere, and from the panel down there in the left corner, yep, that one you always forget exists, change the segments and rings to 8. Ctrl+2 for subdivision surface to smooth it out. Then S+Z to squish it just a bit. R+X, 90 degrees to rotate, and S again to scale it down. Now grab it with G, move it into the position, and gently tuck it inside the eye hole like you're putting a grape into jelly. S+X to scale it thinner, R to rotate until it looks right, then shade smooth for that glossy, adorable look. If it's not sitting perfectly, no problem. Select the faces around the eye hole and adjust them a bit so the eyeball fits nice and snug. Finally, the classic move, add a mirror modifier and choose the body as the mirror object. Boom! 2 eyes. Double the cuteness, double the staring contest potential.
Alright, time to make this little bat look less like a gray blob from a low-budget horror movie. Let's bring it to life with some materials. Head up to the top right corner and switch your viewport to Material Preview so we can actually see what we're doing. Then drag that bottom panel up and switch it from Timeline to Shader Editor. And if nothing's working, you probably forgot to activate Node Wrangler. Yeah, turn that thing on. Now, starting with the body, we're making a simple skin texture. Shift+A, add a noise texture. Ctrl+T to automatically bring in the coordinate and mapping nodes. Thank you, Node Wrangler magic. Grab the output of the noise texture, drag it into the free space, and boom, search pops up. Search for color ramp. To preview it, Shift-Control-Click on the color ramp. Now, grab that left handle and drag it to the right, don't be shy. Crank up the scale on the noise texture and play with the detail until it looks, well, less like static and more like skin. Shift-Control-Click on the principled BSDF to see it again. Then grab the output of the color ramp, drag it into the free space, search for bump, and hook it up to the roughness input of the principled. Change your base color to a nice dark blue because, come on, it's a bat, not a beach ball. Finally, on the bump node, increase distance to 0.1 and drop the strength a little for that subtle touch. When you're happy, select the wings and ears, then Shift-select the body last, Ctrl-L, and choose Copy Materials. Boom! Everything's got the same slick skin material. Our little bat just got an instant glow up. All right, let's add some personality, because right now our bat looks like it's been printed in grayscale. Select the wing, hop into edit mode, and grab the inner sections. Up in the material slots panel, click that little plus button to add a new slot. Fancy, right? Then hit Assign and click New. Now, set the base color to a nice pink. That's right. Pink wings, because who says bats can't be fabulous? Do the same thing for the ears, give them that cute soft color so our little dude looks less scary and more snack-sized. Next up, select the teeth, click New, and bring that roughness down so they shine like tiny pearls of doom. Now for the tongue, from the material dropdown, grab the same skin material, then click Duplicate.
Reduce the roughness, make the color a nice bright red, and feel free to crank up the noise texture detail if you want it to look a bit juicier. Finally, select the eyes, click New, give them a pure black base color, and lower that roughness all the way down. We want those glossy cartoon eyes that could stare right into your soul, but in a cute way. Boom! Now our little bat looks fully alive and ready for its first Halloween photo shoot.
And that's it. Our cute little bat is ready to haunt your render. What do you think? Too cute to be spooky or spooky enough to be cute? Tell me in the comments below. And hey, if you love spooky stuff like this, check out my ghost coming out of coffee tutorial or the Halloween pumpkin one. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, happy blending!